The night was black glass under the twin moons of Arkesh. The forest whispered with insect light, and the low growl of hunters on the wind. And from beyond the tree line came the pack, 30 strong, their fur bristling, fangs wet with fury. They had followed the scent for 3 days. Blood, smoke, and the unmistakable human scent that made every instinct scream danger. Their cubs had vanished from the den 3 nights ago, taken while they slept. No predator would dare. None, except perhaps a human. Their alpha, Tran, moved at the front, an enormous creature of scarred muscle and dull silver fur. His claws dug into the earth with every stride. He took them. He snarled to his second, "I smell the iron, the oil, the smoke. Human." The second nodded. Then he dies before dawn. They moved silently through the underbrush until the smell grew thick. Wood fire, cooked meat, something sweet. A clearing opened ahead. The alpha raised his paw. The pack froze. There was a campfire, burning low. A human sat beside it. He was broad, battle-scarred, his weapon lying within reach. His jacket was torn, stained dark, and across his chest, 2 small forms breathed softly, curled in the hollow of his arm. The cubs. Their cubs. The alpha's heart went still. His pack rippled with growls, but he lifted a claw to silence them. He watched. The humans stirred, blinking awake at the sound of their approach. His eyes flicked to the tree line, calm, wary. Not fear, readiness. His hand didn't go for the gun. Instead, he placed it gently over one cub's back as it shifted in its sleep. "Easy," he said softly, voice like gravel and warmth. "They're safe." The alpha stepped forward, massive paws silent in the ash. The human met his gaze. Predator to predator. "Where did you find them?" Tran growled. The human's lips curved faintly. "In the river gorge. Something had driven them out. I heard them crying. Almost drowned. You touched them. I saved them." The growl deepened, spreading to the pack like a storm. "You lie." One snarled. "Humans bring fire and death." The human didn't move. "Sometimes," he said, "but not to them." He looked down at the cubs. One nuzzled deeper into his chest, tiny claws catching his shirt. They were cold, hungry. I didn't know who they belonged to. He hesitated. "Now I do." The alpha's nostrils flared. The cub smelled of him, smoke, metal, blood, and strangely, peace. Not fear, not trauma. He could sense the truth. His instincts clawed at him. Vengeance, protection, dominance. But another instinct stirred, a rarer one. Judgment. He stepped closer, and the pack tensed behind him. "Why?" Tran demanded. "Why save what is not your kind?" The human's eyes flicked up, shadowed by the firelight. "Because no one else did." Silence spread like mist. The pack exchanged uncertain glances. The alpha studied the man's face, lined, tired, the mark of 1,000 battles in the faint tremor of his hand. "You are a soldier," the alpha said. "You kill to live." "Sometimes," the man said. "Sometimes I save to remember what that means." He shifted carefully, letting the cubs rest as he unrolled a blanket over them. They cried for hours. One was hurt. I did what I could. Tran's eyes narrowed, glowing amber. "And if I take them now, will you stop me?" The man shrugged slightly. "They're yours." Always were. But there was a hesitation, something protective in the way his body stayed between the cubs and the pack. The alpha stepped closer until his shadow swallowed the man. His growl rumbled low and dangerous. "You would defend them from me?" "If I have to," the human said quietly. "Because until you're sure I'm not their enemy, I am their protector." For the first time in decades, the alpha felt something twist inside him. Respect. This human didn't flinch, didn't beg. He had fought for the pack's young. When even nature turned against them, he turned his gaze to the cubs again. They dreamed peacefully, pressed to the warmth of a creature they should have feared. The second in command snarled, impatient. "Alpha, he trespasses on sacred ground." Enough, Tran growled. His voice silenced them all. The alpha lowered his head, sniffing the cubs. They smelled of safety, of warmth, of care. He looked up, eyes hard. Your kind burned our forests, poison our skies. You speak of saving, yet bring ruin wherever you go. The human's jaw clenched. You're not wrong, he said, but I didn't come here to fight your war. I came here to bury my men. The cubs found me before I found peace. That gave the alpha pause. The scent of sorrow clung to the man like smoke, fresh, deep, honest. He could smell the graves nearby, small markers of stone, names carved by hand. War, the alpha muttered, always war with your kind. Not tonight, the human said. He reached into his pack and tossed something near the fire, a piece of cooked meat. You hungry? It's venison, or your equivalent, I guess. The pack recoiled, confused by the gesture. The alpha tilted his head. You would feed your enemy? Feed, the man said. Or share. Depends what you decide I am. The alpha stared long and hard, reading him the way his ancestors once read prey. No fear, no deceit, only grief in the raw, stubborn instinct to protect something small and innocent. He lowered himself, muscles tight, and sniffed the food. Smoke, salt, nothing poisoned. The pack murmured uneasily. You would show kindness, one growled, to the ones who hunted your kind from the skies? The man smiled faintly. Maybe that's the only way to end the hunt. For a long while, no one spoke. Then, softly, the cub stirred. One yawned wide, showing tiny fangs, and blinked up at the alpha. It squeaked and reached toward him, but its small paw caught the human sleeve instead. The man laughed quietly. Guess they're not ready to let go yet. Traneth's eyes softened, a rare sight. He reached forward, gently nuzzling the cub's head. The human didn't move. Trust hung heavy between them, fragile as light on still water. You are strange human, the alpha murmured. Most of your kind would have fled or fought. I did both, the man said, smiling tiredly. Just before I found them. Tran rose slowly. You have returned what was lost. The pack owes a debt. The human shook his head. No debt. Just take care of them. He stood, wincing at the stiffness in his body, and stepped back. They're good kids, braver than most soldiers I knew. As he turned away, the pack parted to let him pass, silent and watchful. But when he reached the treeline, the alpha spoke again. Human. He stopped, glancing back. If you ever return to this forest, Tran said, you will not be hunted. You have a place by our fire. The human blinked, surprised. That's kind of you. It is not kindness, Tran rumbled. It is respect. You guarded what was ours as your own. Few among any species could claim such honor. The human nodded once. Then I'll take that honor. He looked down at the cubs one last time. They had curled into each other, dreaming beneath the alpha's watchful gaze. Sleep well, little warriors, he whispered, and turned toward the darkness. The forest swallowed him, leaving only the crackle of the dying fire. The pack gathered around their alpha, uneasy. He could have killed them, one said. He could have fled. Tran looked toward the path where the human vanished. He could have done many things, he murmured, but he chose the hardest one. The pack lowered their heads in quiet understanding. The alpha settled beside his young, pulling them close. Remember this night, he told them softly. Remember that even the fiercest hearts can guard instead of destroy. And in the distance, beneath the whispering wind, the human's footsteps faded, but the forest carried a scent, mingled now with theirs, a mark of unlikely kinship. For years afterward, the wolves of Varkesh told the story of the human who guarded their young, of the night vengeance turned to respect, and of the alpha who bowed not in defeat, but in acknowledgement of something greater than power, the bond of those who protect the innocent, no matter the blood in their veins.